everybody, and welcome back to the show that shall not be named. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm revisiting a pen that I reviewed before and wasn't super stoked on, and I'll get more into that later. And yeah, I'm just using this drawing as sort of a test. This was about 3 hours. I was imagining like an alien caterpillar kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in my brain sometimes, but it looks like a giant dingus just hanging out. But yeah, I'm sketching with my pencil and just kind of coming through, giving it all sorts of like sockets, I guess, or whatever, tubes coming off of it, adding like a little, Roomba to the side here. And yeah, this was a fun drawing, and I like the way it turned out. Here's the pen, the Muji pen, for those of you that are uninitiated. It's an affordable fountain pen. I think I picked this up for $10 to $15 on Amazon, something like that. And I'm just coming through. This has a medium to fine line weight. I don't know if the Muji pen has different like nib sizes you can choose from or not. I forget. But I'm pretty sure this is either a medium or a fine. If there's even an option, this might be the only size you get too. So I don't know. It's a cartridge converter pen, which I don't like. I think that's part of the reason I didn't like it when I first reviewed it, was I don't really like converters or cartridges. And I think I have a theory as to why I don't like them. And it's an ink flow issue, right? Every time I use a cartridge or a converter, I run into ink flow issues. And what I think it is because I do so many freaking lines in all of my drawings. I think I'm like outrunning the converter or cartridge's ability to have like do like gas exchange, or what, how they have like the feed like transfers air into the pen so ink can flow out, sort of thing. I think I'm like outrunning that. There's like not enough volume, right? And you can see here, another issue I have with this pen. I don't want to just complain about this pen for the whole video, but it's a very slim pen. It's just a little too slim. It makes my hand cramp up, and so I added some hockey tape on there. Give it a little girth, if you will. But yeah, I'm coming through and hatching. I decided to use this one pen for the whole drawing. I'm just doing a bunch of single pass hatching. I ended up, because I was kind of struggling with this pen, and by the way, I think this pen has I think it has a good use case, but I don't think it's for me. I think it's just not great for my style of art. And so, yeah, I was kind of struggling with the pen, and I ended up doing a bunch of cross hatching and stuff like that to kind of compensate for it there. But yeah, I'm just coming through and doing a layer of hatching kind of as I go. I'm switching between outlining and hatching. I erased this section a few times because it was, I don't know, there was something funky going on there. So I erased it a couple times at least. And when you erase on this type of paper anyways, repeatedly, you get a lot of feathering when you do ink over the part that's been erased. So that is one thing I found. So I was struggling with that too. The struggle is real today. I started with trying to do a sort of a watercolor doodle, and I have this nice paper my mom actually bought me, and I've been kind of saving it. You get some nice paper. You don't want to you know, just do crap on it. You know, you want to like use it for cool projects or whatever. Anyways, I've been saving it. So I sat down today and tried to record like a watercolor doodle type thing on it, and it buckled worse than the Bristol paper that I was using before, the cheap paper. I think it's just one of those. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and stretch my watercolor paper. It's where you get it, the paper wet, you tape it to a board and then let it dry, and it like stops it from buckling when you go to paint on it. But that'll be in a future video. I'll have to find a good board and order some tape for that. But yeah, anyways, back to this. I think my issue mainly, besides the converter with the Muji pen, is it's got a very bouncy, flexy sort of nib. And that gives it it does two things. It gives it some line variation, but it also adds like another axis of movement, I guess, if I'm trying to explain this, so I'm trying to make the words make sense in my brain before I say them out in the voiceover, and it's recording right now. So, but yeah, that extra like flex in there just kind of makes it, for me anyways, makes it feel out of control. So I'm just like working extra hard to like, I just feel like I'm wrestling the pen the whole time. And I think that, yeah, that line variation and all that stuff is just not great for my style. Those like the hatching is like very close parallel lines. You know, if you have part of it thicker and thinner, you want a very consistent line. And I'm curious if technical pens are going to be something that's like more up my alley. I don't think I've ever tried them. I had a set of Kohinoor rapidographs that I can't remember where I got them, but I think they'd just been sitting in a cabinet or something for years and hadn't been cleaned out. They needed to be cleaned out. I didn't know what I was doing with them. So I might have put the wrong kind of ink in them. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I gave those away and I never really tried them. And I've been kind of curious about trying out technical pens for a long time. So I think that's going to be coming up as well in a video. And we'll see what we can do. If they're what I think they are, then I'm probably really going to like them. I like a very consistent line, no variation in it. It's perfect for my style. And that's why I use the fountain pens that I do. They have a very like stiff steel nib and there's like almost no line variation whatsoever. Unless you like push down super hard, but that's not good for the pen. But yeah, so I was fighting it the whole time here. I am coming through and doing some hatching here. And doing some contour lining. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think these are the Muji pen, not these pens. I think it's the reason a lot of people don't like gold nibs too. It's because of that flex and variation for drawing anyways. But I think that type of pen or the Muji pen or a gold nib or whatever would be good for something like urban sketching, you know, or if you have a very loose line work style, or if you don't do a lot of shading, if you just doodle, you know, if it's just line work doodling, that might be great for that. I think that's why Peter Draws likes them. I don't think he doesn't really do a lot of hatching in his artwork. Maybe he does. I can't remember. But either way, I guarantee you he's not doing like super tiny like hatching with this pen. He's probably using the technical pen if he's doing that. So yeah, I think this would be good for certain things, you know, so where you have loose line work, you want some variation, you know, stuff like that. Doing a watercolor would be, yeah, maybe I'll try it on the watercolor, you know, because you're just outlining the watercolor. And then also if you have smaller hands, you know, this nice little thin pen body could be good for that because it's well made. And I think it's worth the money. You know, I don't think it's a bad pen. I just think it's, you know, maybe not for my style. But yeah. So anyways, here I'm coming through with some little tubes and stuff, some little bits of hatching here and there. I'm kind of all over the place in this one, to be honest. And I'm just trying to flush it out, get it to where I want it. And you'll see here, I'm going to start on the cross hatching here soon. And I'm actually I kind of like the way the cross hatching turned out on this. I did a thing where it was like kind of a dual light source thing. So the sort of lower edge below the shadow had like a little bit of an edge light to it. And then there's a shadow and then it goes up into the main sort of, you know, main face of the object here. Yeah, here I'm starting on the cross hatching. So yeah, when I come through, I'm leaving that whole bottom edge or the right hand edge, however you want to look at it, just as that medium tone to give it like an edge light, right? And then I'm cross hatching up a little bit. Almost like if you're familiar with portrait drawing, like sometimes you just put like a shadow right through like a third of their face, you know? It's kind of like that idea. Like it's just that shadow kind of in the front here. And I was doing it to kind of compensate for this pen being so out of control, but it doesn't matter as long as it looks good in the end, right? The hockey tape helped. It's very sticky. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, I think the stickiness kind of goes away after it's been sitting out, or maybe it's all the stickiness went onto my fingers. So it's not too bad. But yeah, I wonder if they make, I've seen it, the little rubber grip things that you can put on your pencils and stuff like that. I wonder if they just make like little grips, because it'd be nice to have ones that fit on different size stuff so I could use it on a regular fountain pen. But the problem is with most fountain pens, the cap kind of goes over the grip, so you couldn't leave the grip on there. Like the only reason it works, the tape works on this one, is because of how the cap is just right over the nib and it doesn't cover the grip. But like on the Eco, the TWSBI Eco, you couldn't put tape on the grip and be able to close it again. So it'd be nice to have some sort of like slip-on grip that you could just put on, you know, like a big foam rubber thing with a hole in it or something. You just slip it on the pen while you're using it. And then when you're done, pop it off and then put the cap back on. It'd be nice for, you know, I get hand cramping and I have arthritis issues. So it would be nice to, you know, have something like that. I've also thought about maybe talking to a company eventually and seeing about designing an artist pen with a big fat grip on it. Could be kind of cool, but that's a big dream. We'll see if I ever get to that point, you know. But it would be nice. It'd be cool. If you have a fountain pen company and are interested in collaborating on an artist pen, let me know in the comments below. here I'm coming through and just finishing up little details here and there. I like this drawing. It's kind of strange. I don't know. It kind of looks like a caterpillar or I don't know, weird hang down thing. Who knows? Anyways, I'm just going through finishing up all the little details here. And that's going to about do it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon, and I will see you all in the next one. All right. Bye.